This video is in memory of Bruce Ivins, who became the sole focus of the FBI's investigation into the Anthrax mailings. I just ask that you bear with me. I have a lot of ground to cover. In a Los Angeles Times article dated February 20th, 2010 by Richard Serrano, who was reporting from Washington, said the FBI and Justice Department on Friday officially closed their investigation into the 2001 mailings of anthrax-contaminated letters to Capitol Hill and journalists in New York and Florida, including that U.S. Army medical researcher Bruce E. Ivins was solely responsible for the 5 deaths that resulted. Had Ivins not died in an apparent suicide in July 2008 as investigators were closing in on him, he would probably have been charged with the use of a weapon of mass destruction, authorities said in their report. In my mind, he was a convenient fall guy. No mention was ever made about other more likely suspects. On October 4th, 2006, Ross E. Getman, a reporter for GlobalPolitician.com, looks a little deeper at some of the possible suspects. Getman goes on, I recently obtained a journal article from an FBI lab scientist that explained that individuals familiar with the composition of the powders in the letters have indicated that they were comprised simply of spores purified to different extents. However, a widely circulated misconception is that the spores were produced using additives and sophisticated engineering, supposedly akin to military weapon production. The persistent credence given to this impression fosters erroneous preconceptions which may misguide researchers in preparedness efforts and generally detract from the magnitude of hazards posed by simple spore preparations. I passed the article on to journalists because it was important that the public understand that Amon Zawahiri and his supporters had the means and know-how to make the anthrax mailed as a warning in the fall of 2001. The tactic of lethal letters, such as sent in the fall of 2001, is not only the modus operandi of the militant Islamists inspired by Amon Zawahiri, it is their signature, according to Getman. He goes on. Zawahiri was head of Al-Qaeda's biomedical program. Amon named it Zabadi, or curdled milk. The CIA has known of Zawahiri's plans to use anthrax since 1998. Egyptian al-Najjar, another senior Al-Qaeda member, was working for the Egyptian intelligence service. He confirmed Amon's intent to use weaponized anthrax against U.S. targets in connection with the detention of militant Islamists in a sworn lengthy confession. A June 1999 memo from Amon to military Commander Atef said that the program should seek cover and talent in educational institutions which it said were more beneficial to us and allow us access to specialists which will greatly benefit us in the first stage, God willing. Thus, in determining whether Al-Qaeda was responsible for the anthrax mailings in the fall of 2001, the FBI and CIA knew, based on the growing documentary evidence available by December, that Al-Qaeda operatives were likely associated with non-governmental organizations and working under the cover of universities. U.S.-trained Malaysian biochemist Yazid Sufat met with 9/11 plotters and 2 hijackers in January 2000. Sufat was a member of Al-Qaeda and a member of Jamia Islamiyah. J.I. has ties with the Moro Front. Sufat used his company called Green Laboratory Medicine to buy items useful to Al-Qaeda. Zacharias Moussaoui, who had a crop dusting manual when he was arrested, stayed at Sufat's condominium in 2000 when he was trying to arrange for flight lessons in Malaysia. Sufat provided Moussaoui with a letter indicating that he was a marketing representative for InFocus Technologies, signed Yazid Sufat, Managing Director. Moussaoui had an email, greenlab@usa.net, that was accessed by authorities shortly after 9/11. The crop dusters were to be part of the second wave. It was this intelligence that actually led to all the fears about small planes being used in these attacks. Now, as early as January 2001, the Immigration Minister in Canada and Justice Minister received an anthrax threat in the form of anthrax hoax letters. The letters were sent upon the announcement of a bail hearing for a detained Egyptian Islamic Jihad leader who had managed bin Laden's farm in Sudan and was thought to know bin Laden's principal procurer of WMDs, who was based in the United States. Then, in February 2000, the CIA briefed the president on bin Laden's interest in biological and radiological weapons. Furthermore, In the summer of 2001, although the World Trade Center had not received any briefing on the use of planes, its management had taken steps to prepare for an attack using anthrax, based on intelligence that had been received in light of what John O'Neill, who was now head of security for World Trade Center, had told management. The night before 9/11, the now head of security for the World Trade Center, John O'Neill, who had been the FBI's foremost expert on Al-Qaeda, sat at his usual table at Elaine's. O'Neill told his friend that the country was due for something big. He said that he expected there would be another attack on the World Trade Center, because Al-Qaeda seeks to finish what they start. Now, John O'Neill was working for the FBI in Yemen and was just about to unravel the Al-Qaeda 9/11 plotters when he was transferred to the 89th floor of the World Trade Center. Just food for thought.